billion. It's more than 3 times the country's GDP. This contract has a symbolic value, particularly after all the complications we went through with other investors.
It took Guinean authorities more than a year of negotiations to reach an agreement with its partners. In Conakry, there is already talk of thousands of direct and indirect jobs that the project will create. The contract is seen as a financial blessing for the whole country. The Simandou project is expected to contribute $1 billion per year to the state's budget.
Guinea will benefit from the agreement in terms of its budget and in terms of job creation, not to mention the fact that the railroads and other types of infrastructure will belong to Guinea after 30 years of exploitation, although Guinea will not have contributed to their construction.
Guinean President Alpha Condé promised he would do everything possible for the realization of this project, which represents a reasonable balance between the interests of his country and those of his partners. The Guinean NGO for Transparency in Mining Industries said it would remain cautious.
The Malawi Electoral Commission has declared opposition leader Peter Mutharika as the winner of last week's contested presidential polls. Incumbent Joyce Banda finished third in the race, and she is contesting the outcome. And university students in Niger are on a sit-down strike amid anger over arrest by security forces of 72 students. We have details in this news roundup.
After a week-long dispute over voting, the results of Malawi's presidential election were announced on Friday. Opposition candidate Peter Mutharika was declared the winner with more than 36% of the votes. Incumbent President Joyce Banda trailed behind in third place with only 20%. Mr. Mutharika was leading in the results on May 24th when President Banda ordered the cancellation of the election because of supposed irregularities in the poll. That decision was overruled by Malawi's High Court. The head of Côte d'Ivoire's Truth and Reconciliation Commission says that victims of the political crises that afflicted the country between 1990 and 2011 have all been identified. Charles Conan-Bani, who said that some 16,000 people were interviewed, gave his assurance that the testimonies were strictly confidential and would not be used to initiate legal proceedings.
If they wish to take their cases to court, that is up to them. The Commission cannot be a judge. We are not judges. We are here to advise and to talk with the victims and not ask their forgiveness.
Defense officials from Kenya, Uganda and Rwanda met in Kigali this week to sign a new security pact. The goal of the agreement is to strengthen cooperation in the fight against terrorism, drugs and arms trafficking, and other across-border criminal activities. University students in Niger continued to strike over the arrest and detention of 72 students during a demonstration last week. The student union at the university called a boycott of classes until the arrested students were released. The University of Niamey has been the scene of numerous protests these last months. Students are angry about the lack of materials, overcrowded classrooms, and poor living conditions on campus.
Well, time not to take our second break. Sports is next. Welcome back. The Basketball League has entered the playoff stage, and with teams vying for the coveted trophy, there is no shortage of drama on the court. The first game of the series saw defending champions YMCA crossed the Denton Bridge to face off against Cityside Saints at the intimidating Manisila Memorial Court. Ababukar Senghor was courtside for Grts TV, and he now reports.
Tie of the playoffs and the game between Banjul Giant Saints and league champions YMCA did solely live up to its billing. Manisila Memorial Basketball Lawn witnessed a gripping contest between the two top sides in the ongoing playoff series. Saints, playing right in front of their vocal following, took the initiative in the opening quarter, leading in the first and second quarters of the game with some scintillating display of talent. At the heart of much of their good work was the figure of Kasim Kone. But just as the Banjul side was enjoying a rare comfortable lead, the champions began creeping into the game, and a stunned home support watched in horror as their team literally fell apart. This was the crucial moment the champions racked up a number of three-pointers. At the end of the final quarter, both coaches had varying thoughts on what was a truly breathtaking encounter.
We always have a slow start, but today we came that we have to get a very good start, you know. So the first quarter was not good, and the second quarter we said that we have to close it by force before the start of the third quarter, so that we can open the gap. And you can see that we have opened the gap during the third quarter.
I'm very happy with the defeat because we play basketball, correct basketball. That people need to promote the game. If you play a game, you play basketball, good basketball, so everybody will be happy, then it's fine.
With teams both at the top and bottom end of the league table hoping to take advantage of this playoff series, basketball watchers say this season's encounters represent a remarkable development for the game in the country.
It was a very interesting game today, looking at the fact that St. Augustine came into this game to prove a point against the champions, the defending champions, YMCA. But you could see during the fourth quarter, they saw that, their intention was to come and win against the champions. But that notwithstanding, YMCA, as we know of them, they are slow starters since the commencement of the league. But when it comes to the third quarter, the fourth quarters, that is where you can see the quality of Fode Singate, and that is what exactly he did today. I think the basketball league this year, as the match going on, this is how we've seen improvement from players and coaches with the way they approach matches.
For Grts Sport, this Babukar Senghor.
And from sports there by Babukar Senghor, we now shift our attention to the weather report by the Central Forecast Office.
The source assures us of a continuous flow, and from there, everything follows. And for those of us who know what the River Gambia stands for, understanding its sustainability in all aspects of life is easily confirmed. The River Gambia provides nutritious delicacies as food, while it provides its wildlife a balanced ecosystem. This river, as a sanctuary, is committed to its inhabitants' needs without ceasing. And as you travel along, all these values are replicated in one company, Elton, just like the River Gambia, leads in its commitment to values that matter most. Elton, championing the vision for a new generation.
Good evening, viewers. This is the weather forecast. We experience a warm and sunny atmosphere across the country this afternoon. Satellite picture captured at 1600 hours indicates patches of convective clouds along the Gulf of Guinea states, likewise over parts of Central Africa. These activities will eventually lead to rain and thunderstorm over the affected areas. For the forecast tonight, a partly cloudy and mild atmosphere will prevail over coastal areas, becoming warmer over inland. And for the day tomorrow, a variable cloudy and mild atmosphere will prevail in the morning, becoming warm in the afternoon. Winds will be northwesterlies in orientation and speed will about 10 to 20 kilometers per hour. Morning temperatures will be 21 to 23 degrees Celsius from Greater Banjul to Lower River, rising 3 degrees Celsius over Central and Upper River regions. Afternoon temperatures will be 33 degrees over Greater Banjul area, 34 over West Coast, becoming warmer over inland, recording up to 41 degrees Celsius over Central and Upper River regions. Low tides will be 0.5 meter at 5:39 a.m. and 0.4 meter at 6:18 p.m. It will be rough at sea with a tide of 1.7 meters at 12:18 p.m. The sun will rise at 6:34 in the morning and will set at 19:30 in the evening. Thanks for watching and have a blessed evening.